Late home again. He's late home again. The third time this week. His half of the dinner crusting over on a plate in the microwave. I don't know why I bother, or why I wait. Late home again. Early on, I worried. I'd phone and tell him as much, only to be scolded and made to feel a fool. Then it became a pattern, a routine. I took to waiting up here, looking out of this window. I tried to shake him from my mind. I took up crochet. I listened to the radio. Called my friends, but they'd never answer. I'd clean the kitchen and check the clock. This is why people have kids. This is why people get dogs. They need to be needed. It's not enough to be merely wanted. And I can't even say that for myself. Late again. The house is detached. 2 acres of land. Beyond that, woodland owned by someone who never visits. There are no neighbours to gossip about us. There are no patio lights to be left on at night. From here, I can see his car approaching from 2 miles away. It drowns out the stars. If I leave the interior door open, I can see through the curtainless window of the north-facing bedroom. From the landing, I can see the other 2 sides of the property. It's like a castle on a hill. No intruders can reach us without being noticed. Unlike a castle, however, we have no high stone walls. Unlike a queen, I'm undefended. I have no divine rights. Late home again. When we were young, he'd take me far away from the harsh neon and winding suburbs of town, into the forests and fresh-churned fields of the open country. We'd find clearings on solstice night and dance and sing and drink and celebrate the fullness of life, of youth. He called me his nymph, young, beautiful, and him, caught between nature and civility. When we were married, we'd walk through the barren moorlands and look down upon the neatly trimmed parklands of the city, with their straight, confining lines and predictable appendages. Here, there was space. Vast, empty space. He'd call me a siren, alluring, compelling, and him, stuck between reality and dreams. He calls her a demon, and rightly so, for she is one, sensual and grotesque, smouldering and condemnable, and him, torn between innocence and corruption, and her, callous and careless, pulling from post to pillar, and him, dumbstruck and shallow, flitting between drudgery and the promised land, and her, Venus flytrap, a spider, and him, the gambler, meeting and raising ever higher, and me, the maiden, fallen from the grace of God into the churning nectars that drag you under, kicking, screaming, diving, and sampled, chewed, digested, sieved, ultimately untimely discarded, and him, late home again. He's just over the hill, in the forest, in the clearings he once took me to. I can tell. I can see the red firelight of hell illuminating the low-lying clouds. It flickers and dances and spins, and every now and then I see their sordid silhouettes twisting in the night sky. I have to turn away. She left her trident in his car. He concealed it under his winter coat, but I saw. He leaves early in the morning, but I smell her perfume on the bedsheets when I wake. He drinks on the weekends, when we're alone. He wanders the long empty corridors as a ghost, a purgatorial husk of a man, chained between one fate and another, waiting for the decision to be made. It is beyond my power to banish him, so the haunting goes ever on. He knows I know it, and he knows I know it. His excuses became ever feebler, till now he's simply late home. Again. I sit there as the hours pass, and the macabre dance continues from afar. The night whittles itself down to first light. The shadows are bleached away by the harsh midsummer sun, and still he stays away. Surely the portal to the underworld must have closed by now. Perhaps he went with her. This realm, this world, this time forgotten, faded into a dreamlike memory. The cold bedroom begins to warm as the sun's rays bleed through the single-pane glass. Slowly, tentatively, I rise from my chair. I stumble. I stand. I look around at the scattered possessions and gathering dust and feel the weight of history behind me. What a night's sleep I could have had